Hello, and welcome to SoulWhat, a Soultopia podcast with producer Matt Stoker. I am Michelle Welch, your host.
And I'm Roger Welch. So what's up today, Michelle?
Just hanging in there. How about you?
Oh, busy.
So what's going on today?
Just been busy at work, and I got up here, and then I got busy up here.
Which You're is still busy, it looks like.
Yeah, and I'm sorting these cards real quick.
So what are you sorting?
These are our new crystal cards. Here you go. So you can kind of show some people.
Okay.
So
we've been kind of showing you guys every chance we get these new cards that we have that are our Soultopia Crystal Oracle cards. And I'll show you, if you've been to our Bishop Arts location in Dallas, this is the mural that is on our building that the fabulous Jared Detox Davies painted on the side of our building down there. And it's actually, I think, one of the prettiest murals, if I may say so myself, or speak for Jared Detox Davies. He's actually proud of his work too, and he should be. I think one of the prettiest murals I've ever seen. It's absolutely gorgeous. And so he did, I kind of told him what I wanted and what we wanted. To me, it's very timely now. Mm-hmm. It's this kind of a city angel watching over the city of Dallas.
So I'm not sure if you knew it or not, but there's been more and more people that have heard about it and that are going there every day just for the mural, to see the mural and take selfies with it. And because they do it, and then a lot of times they post it on Instagram. You see it. Sometimes people tag us on it, and we get to see it that way. Doesn't always get tagged, but when it does, it's kind of cool because it pops up.
So if you do go and you tag, if you will tag Soultopia, you can also, there's, I think, a hashtag Dallas Murals. You can look, you guys. It's hashtag Dallas Murals, I believe. And it just will go to all the murals in Dallas, because Dallas has some really fabulous murals. There are a lot of really great artists in Dallas. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so that's the back of the Oracle cards. And then the front will always be like one of our crystals that we have in the store. This one happens to be, let me see if I can hold it still here, labradorite. And then it's whatever description I have written for the stone or the crystal in the store. This is the size that's almost like the size of a tarot card. Let's see, and tarot cards are different sizes, but if we kind of compared it to the Radiant Wise Tarot, which this one's borderless, but if we compared it to that kind of gives you an idea. Now, the ones we have in the store that are display cards are a little bit bigger, but you can buy these when you buy a crystal. Let's say you came in and bought a labradorite of whatever kind. If you bought a big, huge labradorite, or you bought one off the Crystal Bar, you could get a card, and the card itself is 50 cents. And you could buy the card with it. It doesn't just come with it. You do get we give away the gauze bags that the crystals come in. A lot of stores don't give you those. We give you the bag every time you buy crystals, but you can get the card. And then, of course, once you have that card, you can collect it.
Yeah, right.
And then you can. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, no, go ahead. But I was going to say, there's 124 of these.
So far.
Yeah, so far, and we're still adding. We actually have reordered. We've already reordered, right?
Yes.
And we've already added crystals to the collection.
Yes, we have. So, but just think about it. You don't have to buy them all at once. If you bought one card, or if you came in and you decided, okay, today I want to buy what would maybe be, let's say you wanted to read with them. You wanted to do an oracle reading, which is why I put on the back. I'll show it again. Oh, sorry. Because it's so pretty. Yeah. On the back of the card, the reason I made it the mural, for one, it's beautiful, is because I don't like the cards where they show the crystal on one side and then they tell you about the crystal on the other side, because then you can't really use them for like readings. Mm-hmm. So I couldn't, like, let's say, fan them out and then just randomly draw a card if I already knew what the crystal was on the front of it. And so I like to not know, like I'm doing a reading and then I drew Rainforest Jasper. So if I was doing a reading, let's say for Matt, and I wanted to draw a card, and I was like, okay, let's see, what crystal does Matt need to work with today? And I drew a card, and I got Jet. And then I would say, see, Matt, it has to do with, and I can just tell you, Jet has to do with, actually they use these for the stock market back in the day. And it was about stabilizing your finances. And it protects your business. It's also very grounding, and it's also a stone that can help with migraines and a little bit of when you're feeling down. It also helps. It's a very good stone for grief because of like Queen Victoria used it when she was in grief, and so it's a very, very lightweight stone. So, point being, I might not tell all those things in a reading because that's pretty much what I wrote on it. Because of course the crystals do a whole bunch of different things, but I would pull that card. And I could just do a daily reading for myself, or I could say what I was given the reading for the person. And that would be a random reading. So that's why I did it this way. And then in the store, it tells you what the stones are for in the store. So if you want to just say have a typical oracle deck, which oracle decks are always different. They come into like 40 in a bag, sometimes 20. If you think that 50-cent stuff, it comes out to be about what oracle decks would cost. 40. If you got 40 cards, it would be about $20.
And you can customize it. Pick which cards you want.
You can pick whichever ones. We don't say these are the ones you get. And so they're really cool. We're really proud of them. We've been, honestly, it's been a work in progress for a really long time. It's been hanging over me like, we got to get those crystal cards done. And I'm just looking right over there, and there's a deck.
Oh, those are Fatimas.
Oh, those are Fatimas.
Yeah.
So a good friend of ours, Fatima, that's been on the show. Matt, do you remember Fatima? Were you here when Fatima was on the show?
I remember the name. I feel like I might have been.
Yeah. She's opening a store in New Orleans. It's already open.
Cool.
It's beautiful. You guys, you have to go when you go to New Orleans. It's just absolutely gorgeous, and it's just really pretty.
Yeah.
Chandeliers and just gorgeous. And she bought the cards to use as her identifier cards. And
We actually had a guy come in over the weekend. He was buying some tumble crystals for a friend as a gift. So for everyone he bought, and for the gift, he bought a card, and he had it all put together. We put it in an organza bag, put it in one of the Soultopia bags with tissue for them and everything.
That's
He
nice.
got I think got like 10 or 12 stones, and then got cards for each one, and had it all fixed up. We fixed it up for her as the gift. Turned out really nice looking.
I think it's a great way to, if you also wanted to put, it kind of ruin it, but I used to put rings, hole punch my cards to learn, not these cards, but other ones to learn them. And I would put them on like a little ring, and that way I could flip through and learn my cards. And so you could do that too. Because I wanted to learn all my crystals. There are about, minerals, there are over 4,000. When I started learning them, which was a long time ago, they said there were 4,000. It's now getting up to be about 5,000.
Are we getting cards for all 5,000?
No, that's minerals.
Oh,
So
okay.
just because something's a mineral doesn't necessarily.
True.
But to be a crystal, you have to be a mineral. But we count some things and most stores do as crystals, even if they aren't minerals, like obsidian. We won't go into a lesson.
Amber.
But if you want to learn amber, I am starting my Crystal 2 class, and my Crystal 1 class is recorded. So you have to take Crystal 1 to take the Crystal 2 class.
Awesome.
But anyway, these are fun, and I said they're kind of like baseball cards or Pokemon cards. You could collect them. Yeah.
I wonder how many Pokemon cards there are out there.
I don't know. What's the new thing? What's the new collector cards? Do you know, Matt?
I don't know. I'm so far removed from that. See,
Yeah.
I don't even know if baseball cards are still a thing. They're probably not.
There has to be something. Well, now it's Soultopia crystal cards,
So
clearly.
crystal cards.
Yeah, no, these
Yeah.
are the new thing.
Yeah, this is the new
absolutely.
thing. But besides that, I wonder until you guys come out with your Sasquatch cards, I'm wondering
Oh,
what
there you go.
the new collector.
Maybe that's what we need is Sasquatch. Like what was it? Find Waldo.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna-
Where's Waldo?
Where's Waldo? We're gonna do
Well, you could do Sasquatch sighting cards.
Where's Daryl?
You could do Sasquatch sightings or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so I just wanted us to show you guys. And yeah, you may get sick of us talking about them. That's because, I love crystals, and I'm kind of excited about these cards. So if y'all want a reading with those, we were, just to set the record straight, we were having Amy Zerner and Monty Farber on tonight. They're going to be on next week, and they are, pretty famous guests.
Yeah.
They are friends of ours. We are very fortunate that to call them friends. And we'll introduce more about them tonight, but just a little teaser. Monty probably is one of the best astrologers I know. He also is just good at everything. And, and they write books. They are so prolific with writing. Just look them up. That their company is, I'm drawing a big blank. They're going to be so upset with me. What's the name of their company? Okay, I'll think of it in a second.
Yeah.
The Enchanted.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys! I told Matt when I was working, I was like, I tried to take a nap, and that was a fail. So this is not good. But they're on, and I will get that right. I'm so sorry, Amy and Auntie. But they have so many books that we carry, and so many decks, and they've been in the business since before most people. And so they set the tone. And the thing I like about them the most is they're some of the kindest and most loving people I know. And so they, through everything going on right now, they have probably been the people that have been the most even and calm in this business that I've seen. They've just been kind of the calm in the storm. I know I can always look at Monty's and Amy's post and just know that I will be comforted. They'll be honest. Monty's honest with his astrology readings, and he will read for you. He reads for Soultopia too, so he reads for our business, and obviously he's very good because our business honestly has done very well. So he's very honest about that. So, but Amy she makes jewelry, which we have some for sale here. She makes tapestries. She makes beautiful clothes, which I very much covet, that they sell at Bergdorf Goodman, which is in New York City on 5th Avenue.
Yep.
And so anyway, they're going to be here. And we will know the name of their company. And I do know it, okay? So what we're talking about tonight, instead of them being here, and they'll be here next week. I'll be here remotely. They live in the Hamptons. So we are talking about my upcoming book.
Yep. Your book.
My book, which is official. It is on Amazon for pre-order.
Pre-order at Amazon?
Amazon, and you can pre-order it, Soultopia. So either way you want to pre-order it. So, yeah.
Can you pre-order it on Amazon and then do a review on Amazon?
I don't know if you can review it. You can't review it because you haven't read it yet.
Just give it all 5 stars.
You can review it and say,
can we give it 10 stars?
Hey, I was able to order this book.
This book is awesome.
This book, I have not read it, but I like the cover.
It's pretty.
Llewellyn did a great job of this cover.
It's so pretty.
It is pretty, isn't it? So, yeah, no, you can't. That's because I asked that, didn't I? I said, can they review it yet? And I think you looked to me like, no.
But I never actually heard the official answer to that. So I was
need-
wondering about it myself then. You got me thinking, wait, you could pre-order it. I wonder if they let you review it too.
Yeah, I think you kind of need to read it first. In fact, this is how dingy I was. I said, well, you know how usually you can kind of pre-read? Because I'm still tweaking things, like the second, third, whatever draft, because you go over it a million times. And then it becomes a little tortured. Kind of like I watched that show Project Runway. And Tim Gunn always says, this outfit looks tortured. Just step away. Just stop. Don't work on it anymore. And that's kind of what happens when you write a book. Because especially if you're neurotic like I am, you just want it to be perfect. And then you just keep changing things until it's just horrible. And so it's just like
it's not horrible.
No, I'm joking. It's just like step away from the book, stop. My friend Ethany, Dawn, she said, stop, just step away from the book. She's written several books and done a lot of stuff. And she's like, it won't ever be perfect. There will always be more things you want to say. So you don't want to torture the book. But I said, can you look it up on Amazon where you pre-read? You know how normally you can look up and you can pre-read?
Pre-read what it's about.
Like the introduction. They'll put a couple of chapters for free. And I said, can you do that? And I was thinking, no, you can't because I haven't turned it all that in. I mean, it's all written, but I'm still, okay,
still tweaking.
That subject verb doesn't agree there. I've got to fix that.
And you'd be the only one to notice that.
No, I
because
wouldn't.
people would be so wrapped up in the story and and everything, and it's like they would read over that and never think twice about it.
No, that will be the first thing somebody, especially my son Tyler, will call me. He'll go on page 23, paragraph 2, on the 3rd sentence. There is a subject. You forgot your comma. But you know, the minute it comes out, that's what will happen. So anyway,
Yeah.
what's my book about, Roger?
Tell us about your book.
Why don't you tell me about my book?
Well, it's pretty. Okay, so guys, actually, I had grabbed a quick bite to eat today. Saw a friend of mine, and I was telling him about your book.
Mm-hmm.
And Wade's. How would you describe Wade? Very straight, narrow, very conservative.
Quite
conservative. There
probably
you
the
go.
most conservative person.
He's probably one of my
I've
most
ever met in
conservative
life.
friends. I would say, yeah. But we're still friends because we still get along about everything, right? But
I'm smiling.
we do get along. We do because we don't talk about politics and stuff.
Anyway, keep going.
So, but anyway, I was like, it doesn't matter about religions. Every religion kind of talks about how people are connected energetically together. But then even in, Christianity, whatever, they're like, oh, cut cords with that person. That person's not good. Cut cords. But is it really the thing to do? And he's like, no.
None of this is in my book.
He's like, no. I know it's not in your book, but I'm kind of ad-libbing, kind of the pretext of it.
Somebody I know hadn't read my book that lives with me.
But
no, I'm kidding.
What the hell?
Well, I'm not kidding. He hasn't really read it.
I've had it read to me like a dozen times.
Here and there. But it is about connection. You were right about that.
It's about connections.
It doesn't
how people
talk about
are,
religion. at
No,
all.
no. I didn't say it talked about religion. I was telling him. It's kind of like, because if you think about it, even religion, they do talk about being people energetically connected together and cutting cords with people for things that you don't agree with and things like that. And we're talking about it, and I was like, her book is about, it's not about cutting that cord, but about healing that energy across each other. And and it may be the fact that this person wants it, this person doesn't even know about it, or doesn't want it, or doesn't know they want it, but it's about healing the energy and that connection between people, and how everybody is connected.
True.
So, see?
What's
My
inter-
religion thing wasn't about the book, it was about him.
What's interesting today is that Erica was reading it. No, this was last night. A friend of mine was reading it. And I have this thing where it really helps me if somebody will listen to me read it out loud, which is not what people want to do. Okay, but she's really nice. And I don't know if I can say her name, so I'm not going to say it because I haven't asked her. But I was reading it, parts of it, and she goes, you really do shut down any arguments before anyone can make them. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that legal training does pay off. I just sort of go through the whole case for why, we are all connected, and the fact that so many of us, and I think even more now than ever, we all seem to be fighting about everything. And I don't know if they're just I don't mean to be conspiracy, but I don't know if it's just in the air. But it's just like everybody just seems to, if you say that's good, somebody's going to say, no, it's bad. If you say, I liked that, they're going to go, well, I didn't. It just seems like everybody wants to be the contrarian. It just seems that way to me. I don't know if it does to, well, of course it does to everyone, because that's how everybody's being, right? I mean, not everybody, but a lot of people. And so the book was already, when I started it, it was already that way, but it has just exponentially grown to where people are just more, it just seems like they just want to argue. And the book is about the fact that when you argue with someone, you're arguing with yourself.
Yep.
Okay, you're arguing with an aspect of yourself, because we're all one, and we're mirrors of each other. And so you're arguing with an aspect of yourself. And so the fact that that's part of it. But it also goes in, and they really just put it all in there, okay? So they put in stop cutting cords, which is kind of, for some people, they're going to take issue with that, because they do really want to say there is a process energetically of cutting cords that a lot of energetic healers do, and that I used to do. And I have found over time that does not work. So my book goes into why that doesn't work and what we should do instead, and how we can, not should, but what I would invite people to do instead. If they don't agree with me, that's fine. But I make a case for that in the book, and how we can heal cords. But the biggest thing is I do go into talking about empaths. And I say that the biggest thing I kind of say in the book is that every book I've ever read on empaths, and I will say send me one, please, that doesn't do this. But I've read pretty much, I think, every one that I have found that's been published. I think they fall short, every single one of them. Sorry. And they fall short because I am an empath. And where they fell short for me is that I felt I finally had an answer to what I was. You know, what was wrong with me? I'm too sensitive. I care too much what everybody thinks. I let everybody run over me. You're too this. You know, you know, just cut those people out of your life. Just get rid of them. Why do you care so much, Michelle? Why are you know, you're just, you know, you need to toughen up, you know, all that kind of stuff that I've heard my whole life, right? And I felt like and I was so excited that I got a label finally. Okay, I'm an empath. Yay, I'm an empath. But what I feel like they have finally, what they've done to a lot of us empaths is they've given us, they gave us a label, but they stopped short because they gave us also an excuse. They gave us an excuse, many of us, to hide behind that label. And we got to where a lot of people, and I hear a lot of people in my store say, and I mean this lovingly because I did it too, where a lot of people will say, I can't handle other people's energy. I need a crystal for this because I can't do this because that energy bothers me so much. I can't be around that because that's such low energy. I can't, it used to be, you know, I can't hug people because I'll pick up on their energy. I can't go to the grocery store because, you know, the energy's so low. And so I've heard a lot of I can't, and I realized I was doing it. And so they never taught people, none of the books that I read ever taught people that they can transmute energy, okay,
Right.
ever. And so I don't see really any books except for books on alchemy or high magic that teach but a lay person like myself or you or any, you know, how to change the form. And that means that's what transmuting is, to actually change energy and to take something and change it. So if a black tourmaline, because we're going to absorb energy no matter what, right?
Right.
Are y'all with me?
Yeah.
So if we're going to absorb energy no matter what.
You're taking on that energy from
even-
whoever, from
so
all
even-
types of people.
And I go over in my book, we have, you know, you can put a bubble of protection on, and you can wear shungite. You can wear, and actually, Matt, this is jet. I happen to wear jet today. It's very light, and you can wear anything for protection. And I believe in that. I have a store full of it. And I believe you should do those things in most cases because most of us don't know how to transmute energy because how many books are out there that tell us how? Count them. Not many.
Right.
You know, and so, but we'll go, well then, here, get this sage. Here, buy this black tourmaline. Here, wear this bracelet. So they have the power to do that, but we don't. So an empath doesn't have the power to do that, and I'm giving the power to this, which there's nothing wrong with that, but this can do that for me, and a black tourmaline can transmute energy, absorb, deflect, and transmute energy for me, so I can put it at my front door, and that black tourmaline can decide what energy is good for me and what's not, and it's going to make the decision for me on what it should transmute and what it shouldn't. But I can't be taught how to do that myself. And I just had this aha moment that we can learn to be black tourmalines ourselves. And why aren't we being human black tourmalines? Why are we letting crystals and sage? And yes, we need bubbles of protection. We need that. But why are we not being the magicians that we can be? And that's what my book's about.
I like it. So,
and I get pretty excited about it because the more I think about it, the more I think, I get into it and I think, why hasn't anybody said this? I mean, why are they telling me this? And in fact, why are they telling me that black tourmalines absorb, deflect, and transmute negative energy? How do I know? How does it know it's negative? How does that black tourmaline know it's negative? Maybe it's positive. Who decides?
right.
And so I address all that in the book. So the book has a lot that it goes into and a lot of things that I wondered because people told me it was so. And I don't expect you to believe it's so just because I say it's so in the book. I hope you will do the exercises in the book to explore to see if you agree.
So you have each chapter also has an exercise, correct?
At least one.
At least one
Most
exercise?
have two, if not three.
Okay, so it's not only is it kind of explains it, it puts it in real life working order.
Every single one.
Nice.
Yeah. Starting with the very first chapter teaches us that everything is energy. So we literally learn how to feel energy to the last chapter. And it also teaches us all the tools to use to help us transmute energy. So we have tools of transmutation like candles, the ones that help us transmute through our cords, and also how to use that transmutation if, for instance, I'm, let's say I was in an argument with somebody. So am I going to cut them out of my life forever? I can try, but I will still be corded with them because we're corded with everything and everyone. We can never not be connected because everything, it shows it here, everything and everyone is connected. You can never, ever disconnect because we're all one. Everything is connected.
Right.
So eventually, but does that mean you have to be best friends with them? Or, and I even go into, because the big question becomes, then what do you do with the person who has abused you? What if the person has killed, I even give the example of one of my good friends, Barbara Chevalier, who wrote Searching for Blue Jays, and her son was shot by a serial killer wannabe. What do you do? Do you forgive? What do you do? And so how do you handle that in your life, and how do you heal that cord? And so that's what it's about. And we have one of the things we have in the book is, and we say we in the book a lot because the collective, I call it the collective, that's we, it's all of us, is, and by the way, I want to say this, because I haven't ever been taught how to transmute energy by anybody, and it is alchemy, and I put it in layman's, it's magic is what you're doing. And because of that, and because most of us, except for those that are trained, in high ceremonial magic, haven't really ever been taught how to do this, I can't sit here and tell you that I'm an expert at it. I mean, I have at every turn, even today, been given opportunities to where I'm just like, ugh, forget it. And so, that's when you go back to using your black tourmaline. That's when you put on your jet bracelet. That's when you use your sage. But hopefully we can get to the point where we're transmuting that energy and we're not having to always use our boundaries. But I'm not saying that we throw all that away. That is not what I'm saying at all. But could we eventually do that? In theory, yes, we could. But I'm certainly not there, right?
Gotcha.
But the fact of the matter is, no matter how much you put on, like protection or use sage, there's still going to be...
still things you got to deal with.
There's still going to be... You're going to absorb energy.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody tells you. And the thing is, what's interesting when we sage, now lately, because I have learned to transmute, I'll go, just don't sage that one room. Okay, this is kind of controversial, but I'll say, Roger, don't sage that one room because I want to see if I can transmute that energy. So you learn to sip in little bits of energy that maybe you don't want to, and you see if you can. But you have to be in the right space to do that. You cannot just do that at any time. Like I could not have done that today at all. Like today, it's just like I'm barely functioning. So I need all the other tools I can get.
So in this book, what was your most challenging thing that you're doing so far with it?
You mean besides transmuting energy?
Besides transmuting energy.
Putting it to practice. But as far as just actually writing, I would say anybody who wants to write a book just gets started. Once I got started, it's putting aside the perfectionist tendencies and letting go of the fact that it's not going to be perfect, and that there are going to be people who are going to judge your book. They're not going to agree with it. They're going to find. Look, you cannot. Well, tell them. So I put a quote on the internet the other day. Did I talk about this already? Matt, tell me if I did. So I put a quote on Facebook the other day, and it was the definition of forgiveness.
I don't think you've talked about that.
Okay, so I said the definition, and I wasn't trying to trick people, but it's just an interesting study to me. I said the definition, what do y'all think about the definition of forgiveness? And it was something like giving up on the hope that the past will ever be any different. And this was this person's favorite definition of forgiveness. And I said, what do you think about that? And people vehemently disagreed with this definition. And I wasn't trying to trick them. I really wasn't. I was just like, what do y'all think about it? Well, the quote was by Oprah.
She's much nicer than me. I would be trying to trick them.
And so I thought, it's all about your operating definition, right? I mean, so now my big term is, what's your operating definition of something? My operating definition of this is, if assume our operating definition is, negative energy is this. Assuming that's our operating definition. But that was, and she didn't qualify that really. People wanted to say, well, she qualified that, and that was 2 years ago. Whatever. No, she says that's her favorite. And that's really negative, and that's fine because Oprah's not right on everything, right? You don't have to agree with Oprah.
Nope.
So then, Roger, do you want to admit what you did?
I may have found a quote, and it was a positive quote.
So, do you want to admit it?
Sure, I'll admit it.
Here
I
we-
forgot what it said though. Now I
There were
gotta I gotta look it up. There's
I
two
re-
quotes I put on there. Do you
I
remember
re-
what it says?
I remember.
Wait, what? The first one says. I have another one too. I wanted to post and I never posted.
I won't let you.
It's good. It's actually probably the best one.
Nobody's going to ever trust us again. I was not trying to trick people, but here. So
Me?
Roger,
I was-
yours was
Trick people? Never.
So here comes-
Never. Where did I put those?
on your Roger Welch Facebook page, and he got Matt. Don't ever like anything. you post.
Oh yeah. Let me go.
Don't be like, oh, that is so true. I warned a friend of mine.
Don't
I
ever
said,
fall for it.
Yeah, don't fall for it.
Don't. I warned a friend of mine. I was texting with a friend of mine. I said, I wonder who's going to put amen first to this.
And she was the one?
She was the one. And then she goes, oh my God, I didn't see your warning text.
This is pretty good.
Okay, so it is,
Listen, Matt, the dead won't bother you. It's the living you have to worry about. And I put smiley faces after it.
That's very inspiring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
John Wayne Gacy. Wait, it gets better.
so this whole thing came about because I have all these quotes underneath my chapter titles, and those are called, I didn't know this before, but those are called epigraphs. I'm sure y'all all knew that but me, because those are called epigraphs, the little quotes, and you have to have citations with page numbers for your epigraphs, right? Harder than you think during COVID to get all that. Okay, so I'm like, and then they told me Mother Teresa was a controversial figure, and I'm thinking, well, good God, if Mother Teresa's a controversial figure, I give up. I'm hanging it up now. And apparently she was. Okay, did you know that?
I was not aware of that.
Okay,
I thought
so-
that goes back to, what you were saying about the internet earlier, about how everyone's divided about something.
Well, my daughter, who knows everything, she told me, oh, yeah, Mom, she didn't do something. She didn't feed people or something, and she gave all the money. And so if I'm saying something that makes people mad, I'm sorry. But apparently I was told, be careful using a Mother Teresa quote. And I'm like, what the hell? I thought of everybody you could use, right?
Yeah, I
and
would
so
think so.
I literally got a note on that. So that's where this all came from. And your second quote was...
Well, the one I didn't post, Matt.
No, read your second one.
Oh, my second one? If you're going to do something, do it well and leave something witchy.
Okay. I feel like I've heard this one before.
You
but I
have.
can't- I
Think
can't
about
place
it. Who would say something a long time
Manson.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
It was Charles Manson.
Okay.
And I had a lot of people like that one too. And I thought,
Yeah.
I got one more I'm going to quote.
No.
And I didn't do it.
No.
But I like this one. This was actually probably was my favorite of all. It says, I made my fantasy life more powerful than my real one.
Y'all don't like this one. Just don't.
Why not?
Don't.
It's a good, hey.
Who do you think? I mean, just think, if I'm being this much like, do not like it, who would it be?
I have no idea. I mean, if Manson was all right to post,
Well, who would be worse than Manson in the history of mankind?
oh gosh, Hitler probably.
It wasn't Hitler.
Okay.
Oh, that
one.
wasn't the Hitler one?
That,
oh,
No, you
Oh,
told-
sorry, you had a Hitler one that you didn't.
He did. I wouldn't let him.
Yeah, I made my fantasy life more powerful than my real life.
Let me think.
He drove.
Willy Wonka.
Yeah, it was Willy Wonka, and he loved driving bugs.
Oh, Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy.
Okay.
Okay, so now if anybody comes in, so you see,
Hey, there were good positive quotes.
this is not what my book's about, by the way.
Hey, you can find inspiration anywhere.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's all look for positivity everywhere. Hey, every cloud has a silver lining.
Oh, good God. It does.
Every cloud has a silver lining. See?
I mean, you can, man, that was on key.
I've been practicing.
mean,
Matt's been helping me in here. We've been practicing on that.
Yeah.
But it was just interesting, right? I mean, did y'all know that Mother Teresa was a controversial figure?
She's a mean old lady. Can't you tell by looking at her?
Y'all
She
know.
take that switch out.
Stop. Now we're going to get in trouble, and people are going to be mad at
Well,
us.
she did. She held all that medicine away from all those people.
You didn't know that till I told you that.
And she's got those rulers, too. Nuns
Okay,
with the
stop.
rulers.
Stop.
It's just a known fact. Nuns and rulers.
You better stop.
Put your hand out. Matt made me do it.
Okay,
I
we're changing
can't blame
the
that
sub-
on me. Can't blame that
No,
on me.
no, don't see Matt doesn't want to get in trouble.
All right, so I'll do something positive then. I'll tell you what, we'll give away 25 of these cards, my random pick, for the first, I'm watching on Facebook, guys, so the first person on Facebook that can tell us who did our mural on the back of the cards, I'll count out 25
Full.
cards and you can actually come and pick them up.
Full word. You
Okay.
better be watching.
I'm watching, you better get on there. Yeah, well, it takes them a few seconds to catch up. So I'm watching on Facebook and I'm waiting for you to answer and I will tell you who goes.
You can't work here.
Yeah.
You're not
You're disqualified, Erica.
Erica. Erica deserves them.
Everybody just rewind back to the beginning of the show to listen
No,
again.
no, can't do that either. No cheating. Or we'll put a quote that you agree with that you shouldn't.
I'll call you out for agreeing to my post with an amen.
Well, the thing is, it's true though. I mean, anybody can say something. I mean, and who among, I mean, that sound like I'm quoting scripture, maybe I am. Who amongst us is perfect? Let them cast the first stone, right? I mean, God, I don't know. It was just, the whole thing kind of evolved in this interesting thing of like, because then I was thinking, well, who else am I quoting here?
Well, don't you think
mean,
it's
and-
also how things are interpreted?
Well, yeah, but like, who am I quoting and what have they done? And is this somebody I really want to be quoting just because this is a good quote?
Right.
You know, I mean, and do I need to quote somebody? Do I need to agree with their whole life history and their whole body of work? Or are they, or can I just agree with this quote? And because this is a good quote, but what I want to quote, what if I found a great quote like that and I put it and I didn't know who it was and I put that as a quote without doing a study of this person and then I had this great inspirational quote and I found out this person was just like a total jerk, like we're a serial killer. I mean, that's, you know,
Yeah.
and where do you draw the line with that? And so it's kind of an interesting topic to me, you know, as my brain goes on a little squirrel thing for hours.
I was just thinking it'd make damn good T-shirts, though.
No. Okay, so my book is not about any of that. So,
No serial killers in this book.
and we're actually way over time because we started late. I was going to do readings, but I will not have time. So here's what I will do. If you will watch during the week, I've been doing some Instagram readings. I've been doing them on the crystal cards. I've been doing, and we are trying to start doing the meditations again because I will say that I don't know if you guys are a little more, I don't know. I think we need to send like healing out to everyone. I'm hearing more and more people, friends and families, not my family, but friends and full families that are getting diagnosed. I don't know if that's because more people are getting tested or more people are just getting sick. I don't know. It's not for me to say. I'm not a doctor, so how do I know? But what I do know is I'm hearing of more people. So you guys, you know, be safe. If you do come into Soultopia, we're following all the laws. You've got to wear the mask and all that kind of stuff. And we actually went ahead and ordered, just so you know, I'm going to tell them.
Yeah.
We went ahead and ordered the thermometers for the forehead. And we'll be testing all our employees. And I don't know. So we just kind of want to send positive energy out, I think, for, you know, I will say this. I actually emailed Clay Jenkins. He's our local county judge in Dallas because I understand everything they're trying to do, and I really admire all his efforts because I admire someone who tries to have strong leadership. I admire that, and is trying to do something, But I really do feel super sorry for, I'm not making a comment on whether it's right or wrong. That is not my comment. I feel so sorry for all these bars that spent all this money to reopen. And what I would say to you is, and not just bars, but restaurants. I was in a restaurant today. It's a diner over here that we go to. Is that in Carrollton or Addison?
Farmer's Branch.
Farmer's Branch. It's called the Diner. It's so good. It's like, home
Country
cooked
cooking.
food.
Yeah.
And I heard her talking, and they went back to the 50%. And she said it's just they have a lot of, I like old timey food, so but they do have a lot of older clientele. And she said, yeah, it's been pretty slow. And so I just encourage you as much as possible to support your small businesses, because they're just really, it's really kind of sad, I think.
Well, I noticed
there's a lot of sad stuff. I'm not trying to say that people being sick's not sad, but there's just a lot of, being a small business owner, I can just tell you it's a difficult thing that people are going through.
And I've noticed that, a lot of the restaurants, they've spent money on setting up just for it. Like Snuffers actually built an entire wall so they can divide it into two spaces, and so they can actually set more people in there than what they could, with the 6 foot, 50%, all that. So they were trying to divide it off. So they spent quite a bit of money dividing it up. We were at Outback the other night, and they actually extended their booths up. So like if you're setting on this side, there's a, space, or divider spacing out everybody. So they spent, money there.
Well, hopefully that will be something that investment pays off in the future, as we do get over this, then that when they are allowed to open back up to capacity, that's something that's just going to keep us all, as my daughter put it, who I told you knows everything. I mean, she really is smart. She just said, I was like, what do you think, Tanner? Do you think everything's going to change? She said, yeah, I think that personal hygiene is not such a bad thing, that we'll just have better personal hygiene as we go forward, in the future. That's not such a horrible thing, that we learn to be more aware of personal space and hygiene. So if that's the worst it is, then we can all do that, right? But I am just going to say, again, and especially in our business, again, over time, you guys that buy cards and books, please, for our friends who make these decks, Chiro Marchetti, every one of the ones, whether they're published by a major publisher or they're self-published, please do not buy them from the people who are pirating these cards. Okay, do y'all remember when you bought all the knockoff purses? Okay, and all the knockoff stuff? They're doing it to cards. And if you're getting a deck of cards, like, let's say this, and Chrisanne actually posted hers on her Instagram or something. If you're getting a deck like this, look, it's a nice box. They're nice cards. It has a full-blown colored book with it. And you're getting it for like $8. That's a knockoff. So if you're buying stuff from Wish, I'll call it out, and certain,
Geek.
and what is it?
Geek.
And certain what is Etsy? I've never bought from Etsy, so I don't even
Yeah.
know.
Oh, some
Certain Etsy places that people are actually naming them, and actually some places that Amazon's selling. Please don't do that. It's if
And
you
there's some
wanna,
websites where people are uploading the books too.
yeah, they're uploading
That's
brand new books that people have written, not that the people are releasing, and so you're hurting the publishers. You're hurting the people who've gone to all the trouble. Let me tell you, I've spent how many years now by writing this
You've
book?
been working on this for about 4 years.
So please don't do that. That's just, I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's stealing. And so that's what it is. And so it's copyright violation and all kinds of other stuff that I think that hopefully they'll all get together and do a class action lawsuit of some sort if that could be done. But please don't do that anymore, because, and if you don't want to come into Soultopia to buy stuff, we don't make that big of a margin. Please, if you're not going to do that and you want to buy from Amazon, whatever, I'd prefer that you support whatever local bookstore.
Just be careful what you're buying. Even on Amazon and eBay, they still have some of those that float through there every now and then. And so you got to just kind of use your best judgment with that, and be fair about it with other, with the people that are putting their heart and their soul and their blood and their tears in there. Be real with those people. That's how these people are making a living, how they're taking care of their families, versus the person who's stealing their artwork or stealing their thoughts, stealing their designs, stealing their inventions, and trying to profit off of it.
Yeah, and let me correct myself, because there are some good Etsy businesses. I know lots of people that have businesses on Etsy that are good, but I just needed to say that because it's all over with for us knowing, and these are friends of ours, and it makes me so angry and sad, angry for the people who are doing it, because I'm thinking, yeah, and then they complain. They're like, oh, this is whatever, and I'm thinking, well, yeah, you paid, and they come in our store too. They'll go, look at this crystal, and I'm thinking, yeah, well, so you really think you're going to get a Merlinite for $2? I mean, you're just not. I mean, come on.
I like the ones when they bring it in and it's painted.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get it. Oh, okay, $3 for this. It's painted.
So just use some judgment, and especially, just during, you can use your money any way you want, but just know there's karma with buying stuff that's ripped off.
Yeah.
Just please don't do that. They're friends of ours, and for those of you who are supporting all the small businesses, I didn't think I'd turn into griping right at the end of the show, but those of you who are supporting all the small businesses and your local businesses, I think that is really nice. I'm not anti-Amazon. I really don't shop online that much, except for the stuff for our store. So I don't really know about it all like all y'all do, who buy. A lot of people just buy from Amazon. I don't even really know how to do it that much, but I just really appreciate those of you who do support your local businesses, because now more than ever, you really, really need to do that. It would really mean a lot, not just Soultopia, I'm talking all of them.
Yeah.
So,
and I will say that if you are worried about getting out and you want to protect yourself, we understand. Our mornings have been a little bit lighter as far as traffic coming in. Maybe you come in a little earlier, or you can even call and say, hey, how busy are you looking right now? I will say in the afternoon, we do get a little busier, quite a few people, after lunch coming in. But shop online. You can shop online at our store, but if you do it on there, we're having so much stuff coming through right now. We're not getting everything online because it's coming in so fast, and we're not able to get it loaded into our computer system, and then uploaded to to our website
before we sell it.
But also, so if you think you're looking for something special or something particular, call the store, just ask us and see, and because we can always process an order like that, or do an add-on for you or anything like that.
And also, you can virtually shop. We don't.
Yeah.
You can.
We still virtual shop.
Our readers are virtually reading. I'm virtually reading for the clients that I do
did some
take.
virtual healings.
And remote healings.
Yeah.
And virtual shopping. All of that, is whatever's your comfort level is still in play. And I just want to, before we go, I just wanted to look up Monty and Amy. It is called
So I am going
Enchanted.
to, okay, so with the mural guys, all right, the closest person to get it was Meredith.
Oh, Mary.
Yeah, so she knew it was Jared or Gerald. It was Jared.
Okay, you guys, it's just so you know.
Jared. Just if you put detox, we would have got that too.
Yeah, it's Jared. Y'all might want to follow him on Instagram.
Oh, yeah, he always has some cool stuff. And he has always got his kid on there too.
You want to say his name again?
Jared Detox Davies. And it's DETOX.
And go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You guys, it's the Enchanted World next week. The Enchanted World of Amy Zerner and Monty Farber. I was close. I think I said Enchanted, didn't I, Matt? I think I did.
Yeah, you did. You said Enchanted.
Okay. And they have done.
I think because their last deck is called the Enchanted. And
They all are.
Yeah.
Or a lot, and that's not true. They're not all, but their last one is the creative deck. It's Enchanted Creative Deck.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, they'll be on. They'll set us straight on everything we're not saying correctly. But if you look at her clothes, just know, if you go on and look at them, you are going to covet, because she films them like walking, like on Fifth Avenue and stuff like that, and her beautiful caftans and kimonos and things, and they're absolutely beautiful. So anyway, they'll be on with us next week, and kind of all over the board. Didn't talk about the book much, sorry, but it is available for pre-order. It would mean a lot to me. I also have now, it's kind of embarrassing. But I was at 5,000 people already on like Facebook. You can't have more like
Personal friends.
personal friends, and I'd like that to kind of be personal friends, and so I did a Michelle Welch, like it's public figure author, so I can answer questions regarding the book on there. And I already have another project in the pipeline, actually 2, that'll be coming out. So if you would follow me, is it called like or follow? Whatever you do, I would
Like and follow.
It would mean a whole lot to me for you guys to do that, so that that I can spread the word about the book. Yeah.
Spread the word of the book.
So thank you guys for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it. And actually, we thank so much Matt Stoker for being on with us late. You guys for being with us late. You can listen to us on all of our podcast platforms. Find us on Facebook and also YouTube at Michelle Soultopia. And we appreciate you guys so much, where we talk about things that matter to us, and you decide what matters to your soul. Good night, you guys. Thanks again.
Good night, guys.